Oh, wow. Did not realize I was live, to be completely honest. Um, Sorry, I'm new to this. I was just putting the link onto my story, but welcome to those who joined. I forgot it auto started at noon. I hope everyone's excited for week 11. I know we got a bad game in Spain, but the rest of the games look absolutely gorgeous. I know we got Chiefs, Broncos, Rams, Seahawks, just some real good games. So I'm pretty excited. We should have some shootouts. I know the Bills Bucks was supposed to be a high scoring game, but the weather looks very, very windy. So I wouldn't be too thrilled to play all the wide receivers and tight ends for those clubs. But obviously, Egbuka would be in your lineups. It's just more of a I wouldn't be surprised if this is a lower scoring game than we figure. Um, so I'll probably just ramble on for a little bit, probably like 2 or 3 more minutes, just because. Just put the link onto my story, and then I'll wait for people to trickle in, ask their questions, and then I'll go through them all. But once again, hope everyone's doing well. I know I'm pretty new to this, but it is going to be a fun Sunday. Hope usually everyone that's still tuning into fantasy right now is very much in the playoff race. So, congrats to you guys or those people who have 1 or 2 wins. They're still fighting. Major respect. I do really appreciate you guys supporting the page. I hope you've been liking the content. If you also have any other comments on like posts you want to see or maybe content you want to see, I know I've been trying to get as much up as I possibly can. The YouTube videos are coming along. I know they're they're pretty poorly edited, but I don't have that much time. But I've been trying to incorporate them, so that'll probably continue into the future. I'd expect I'll probably make a lot of like draft videos as far as the NFL draft, and really work on the editing. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. Once the season winds down, I'll have more time on my hands. So, all right. Let's see. So at 12:06, when the clock strikes that minute, I'll start answering the questions. But feel free to drop in the comments maybe your favorite game for the week. I'm also very curious. Something that I got a few DMs about recently. Do you guys know what fan I am of which team? Because I hope you don't, because I don't ever really post about it, as well as I don't really do any biases as far as the posts go. So I remember asking this question last year, and no one got it. So if I could go another year with no one knowing, that would be great. But yeah, drop your best guess. All right, let's get into it. 12:06. Man of my word here, Joshua. So, hey man, hope you're doing well. Have a couple questions for my PPR league. Michael Wilson or Sutton? I don't think it's going to be a huge Michael Wilson game. This is a don't overthink it. Play Cortland Sutton. I know he's been very disappointing in the last few weeks, but Against the Chiefs, they'll need to throw the ball. They've been winning a lot of these gross, close, ugly games, really. I don't expect that to happen. I expect the Chiefs to step on them early and often. I think the Chiefs will win this game handily, but you'll get probably a lot of garbage time. A lot of Broncos trying to catch up through the air, which is another reason why I'm not too bullish on RJ Harvey. I don't think they're going to be establishing the run at all in this game. The Chiefs' front four is very, very good against the run. But the pass catchers, I'm actually not too far opposed to playing. So I think Sutton's actually a good play and definitely above waiver wire options such as Michael Wilson. We got Otten or Pitts. So Kate Otten against the Bills in that windy game. It's not going to be great weather, obviously, or Kyle Pitts against the Panthers. I'm going to go with Kate Otten in this one. I know I mentioned that it's the bad weather, it's this and that, but Kate Otten doesn't really run many routes down the field. I'm expecting a lot of short and intermediate targets for the Bucks. This should be back and forth. Both these teams need this game. I guess technically the Bills would need this one way more because the Bucks are in a terrible division, so they'll probably still be fine. But they would love to have this game as far as momentum goes and overall vibe of the team. So give me Kate Otten, Kyle Pitts. I still like playing him. Just against Carolina, I'd expect them to lean on the ground game. They're so much better when they're playing behind Algier and Bijan. And really, Michael Penix has one target, and it's Drake London. So I would not be playing Kyle Pitts usually in most situations. From Stockman, he's got the little crown next to his name. Not sure. Would you start Spears or Algier over Franklin? Worried about KC defense against the pass. It's a fair worry, but as I said, if you're behind, you can throw on anybody, and I expect Denver to get behind probably early. So Spears or Algier, no, I wouldn't play either. I'm pretty bullish on Tyjae Spears going forward. Obviously, coming off the bye, I'd expect him to be more involved. But I'm not too confident starting him this week against the Texans, who are a nightmare matchup against running backs and really all offensive assets. So I would certainly not be starting Tyjae Spears. But as far as trades go, if you need like an extra RB2 depth pick, I would definitely stash Tyjae Spears, or if you have to trade for him on the cheap, I would. I think we'll learn a lot this week, and you could be finishing this week going, oh, wow, I have a locked and loaded RB2 going forward. But I'm just not at the point where I'm going to be willing to play him without seeing it first. So give me Troy Franklin. And from Peter Zoe, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name, Theo Johnson, DeMarcado, or Michael Wilson. This is a fun one. I know Bam Knight is playing, so that changes things. I would have gone with DeMarcado, just volume alone. But actually, give me Theo Johnson in this. I really like Theo Johnson, and the main reason being, it's probably just all the Jameis effect, but they're going to be able to move the ball around. I joke, but I really like Wandale in this game. I really like Theo Johnson. The one guy that I wish could have kind of been in lineups this week would have been Darius Slayton. I think he profiles as the best wide receiver. As far as Jameis targets go, he likes to air it out, let it rip. But I still really like Theo Johnson. I think he's a touchdown threat and would be a very safe play. ETN or Lad, half PPR. Oh, man. This game is so gross to me. I really have no feel on who's going to win as far as Chargers or Jaguars. I think it'll be a slugfest. I would honestly ride the hot hand here with Lad. The Chargers defense has turned the corner. They're shutting down the run. They're playing really well. So I wouldn't be super optimistic about Travis Etienne in this matchup. It's a game I expect them to trail. So he does have a safe PPR floor as far as the receiving line goes. But I think you got to ride the hot hand of Lad. He's been the number one target the past 3 or 4 weeks now. He looks great. Gadskin, obviously off a full practice, but still banged up. So those underneath targets are going to go to Lad. And Keenan Allen is just completely out of the rotation at this point. I told you guys to try and trade him. I got a lot of backlash about that. I said it probably after like week 4 or 5. These aging veterans, it's almost like clockwork. They get off to a hot start, and then their bodies tends to decline way faster than everyone else, and then they kind of fade out of the rotation. And it's also schematic wise, the team wants to get the rookies involved. They want to get their youth involved. So I'm not saying that Keenan's gonna like be a healthy and active, but he's way more of just a third down guy at this point in the season. So give me Lad in that one. I know that was kind of a long explanation. From Joshua, also in a 3 wide receiver league with Egbuka, London, and Sutton. My running backs, though, are Cook, Rico, ETN, Harvey, Benson, Hampton. Wow. So that's a pretty stacked running back room. Any trade recommendations for a better wide receiver? Um, you can't really trade Sutton at the point right now. I will say if it's at the trade deadline and you're a good spot for the playoffs, I never. I always like to upgrade at positions, so I'm honestly fine with if you want to try and package like Egbuka and maybe Harvey or Benson and try and get one of the top tier like Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb. Maybe if CeeDee has a good week this week, which I expect him to, and really just get an alpha wide receiver. I think your running backs are very solid. I'm honestly fine with just keeping Cook, Rico, ETN, and then one of the other three. But as far as wide receivers go, you could definitely just use that to upgrade one. We got pick one wide receiver, one flex, full PPR. Michael Wilson, Sean Tucker, Trey Tucker, and Tracy. So the first one is absolutely going to be Tyron Tracy. He's one of my favorite plays this week. Yes, again, it's the Jameis effect, but also 67% of the snaps last week. So for all those clamoring for the Devin Singletary takeover, I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. So it is Tyron Tracy. And so you need another wide receiver. So it's between Michael Wilson and Trey Tucker. Oh, this is tough. I would probably lean on the Trey Tucker side, just a better matchup. I really like targeting anyone against the Cowboys defense, which is why I think Brock Bowers returns to form. I'm not saying he'll get 41 points like he did 2 weeks ago, but I think he's going to be probably the tight end one on this week and really just have a nice game. So I would go with Trey Tucker and Tyrone Tracy in that one. Let's see. Zeke Rodriguez, full PPR, pick 2 flex. Tight end. Oh, 2 flex, 1 tight end. All right. Harvey, Marks, Kittle, and Gadskin. So, I would honestly go with both tight ends in this one. So Kittle would be in my tight end. I would flex Gadskin. He was healthy all week, full practice on Friday. And then so I'd be between Woody and Harvey, and give me Woody Marks. I'm not too bullish on RJ Harvey, to be completely honest with you, against the Chiefs defense. I expect him to get held in check. This is a must-win game for the Chiefs. They're coming off a bye. They're fresh. And this Broncos offense just has looked absolutely garbage. So I wouldn't be too optimistic. I also wouldn't be too surprised if Sean Payton just gets more and more running backs into this committee. So I would definitely go with Kittle, Gadsden, and Woody Marks. From Charles John here, we got we're going with a kicker question here. I need with Fairbairn out, Little or Loop. So I can't say I've received many kicker questions, but so we got Ravens against the Browns in Cleveland or Cam Little. I would go with Cam Little. As far as kickers go, it's way more about who can hit like the longest field goal. If you get a 50-yarder, you're pretty much golden, assuming they're on a good offense. You kind of save the week from the kicker position. So I would go with Cam Little. He's been hot recently. Hopefully he can set another NFL record. Another one from Charles John here. We got Harold Fannin or Colston Loveland. This one's tough for me. I would still roll the rock with Harold Fannin. He's been getting like 8 targets a game. Obviously, Njoku scored the other week, but I wouldn't make too much of it. This team is leaning on Harold Fannin. He's obviously been a target favorite of Dylan Gabriel. So I would certainly go with Harold Fannin. I also think Loveland's a safe play, but definitely go with Harold Fannin in that one. From Julian, we got Ricky Pearsall or Troy Franklin. Give me Ricky Pearsall. I think he should be fully healthy to go, to be quite honest. I don't think they're rolling him out if he's anything below 95% healthy because they've held him out this long. They've been winning games. They're waiting for a time where he can really be explosive on the field. I think it's this week. I think he returns to form. I really like him in this game against the Cardinals. I expect Brock Purdy to let it rip. He was also the favorite target of Brock Purdy before he went down. Same with Kittle. So I think it'll be back to the Kittle and Ricky Pearsall show. So wouldn't be too optimistic about Juwan Jennings. But yeah, I would be pretty excited to start Ricky Pearsall. From Stav here, we got Herbert or Purdy. This one's rather easy for me. Give me Justin Herbert. This Jags defense is bad. They just let Davis Mills walk all over them. So give me Justin Herbert all day, every day. And definitely just keep Purdy on your bench. He is a good stash at this point, but I know the return rate from turf toe, you usually see like 1 or 2 weeks where a slight production dip, but outside of that, they return fully healthy. So definitely go with Herbert in that one. We got Woody, Aaron Jones, DK, or Trey Tucker in the flex. Ooh, so this one's interesting. I'm definitely off the rip. I'm down to Aaron Jones and DK. I would go with Aaron Jones. He's the safer play. He also has the better matchup in the sense that the Bears' run defense is absolutely terrible. I expect the Vikings to try another game plan despite losing last week with J.J. McCarthy throwing the ball 43 times. I don't think that's a recipe for success for them. I think Kevin O'Connell knows that, and they're going to lean on Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, but mostly Aaron Jones. They've been coming out in interviews saying it. The eye test does not lie to you. He looks like the better running back. So I expect him to get more and more involved as he continues to recover from the hamstring. Let's see. Charles John. Right now I have Washington, Worthy, Williams, and Franklin starting. On my bench, I have Jerry Jeudy, Algier. Should I keep my lineup? Yeah, I would keep it. I wouldn't be in too much of a rush to start Jerry Jeudy or Tyler Algier. I think that's a fine lineup, and I would definitely keep it how it is. Another one here, we got Chase Brown, Flowers, or Addison in the flex. Oh, man. I would go with Chase Brown just strictly because I respect the Browns defense. So I wouldn't be too thrilled to play Zay Flowers. I would not be starting Jordan Addison in this game. Like I said just a minute ago, I expect them to lean on the ground. So give me Chase Brown against this banged up and kind of struggling Steelers defense. Start Shakir or Wandale Robinson. I need a boom, and I projected to lose this week. Give me Wandale. This is rather easy for me. If you told me there's a world where he goes 10 for 100 and 2 touchdowns, I'd believe you. I'd believe anything because Jameis Winston will throw the ball and move the ball down the field with ease. So give me Wandale. I'm not too thrilled to play Khalil Shakir. I know Keon Coleman, healthy and active. Surprisingly, it's not performance-wise. It was just he missed a meeting on Friday, but I'm sure if he was playing better, he still would have been able to play. But more of just a disciplined benching. So give me Wandale in this one. From Stockman here, any kicker suggestions? A lot of kicker questions. Thinking Will Richard, Cairo Santos, Carlson, or Myers. I would go with Jason Myers. Usually, division games, teams are way more opportunistic to just take the points. And in a must-win game, they know the Rams can put up a lot of points. You're not going to be getting super, super risky. Also on the road, so give me Jason Myers. I wouldn't trust my expert opinion on kickers, but that's what I would do. Jake Ferguson or Schultz and flex Romeo Dobbs, Quentin Johnston. All right, we'll start with the first one here, tight end. Give me Jake Ferguson. I think people are overreacting off of one bad week. I do think he's still a kind of like a top 5 tight end going forward. This Cowboys offense is a wagon. They just kind of had one dud week against the Broncos, which I wouldn't read too much into. So give me Ferguson. Schultz has been great. I still think he's a great spot start, but not over one of the proven commodities. And then in the flex, we got Romeo Doubs, Quentin Johnston, DeMarcado, or Tracy. So Romeo Doubs, Quentin Johnston, DeMarcado, Tracy. I would go with Romeo Doubs in this one. It's rather easy for me. I think he has the biggest target share, the safest floor as well. It would be him or Quentin Johnston, but QJ has been way too volatile. So give me Romeo Doubs in the projected kind of bounce back week for the Packers here. I expect them to jump on New York early and continuing to kind of figure out this offense. I don't think they're just going to like back down. They need all the reps they can get to figure this thing out as far as Jordan Love going forward. So give me Romeo Doubs. And for all that missed it, Matthew Golden is active this week. So I don't think that makes like a big wrinkle into the Packers wide receiver room, but I thought I would mention that. From Sean here, I got James Cook and Woody Marks in the lineup. I need one more running back to start. Who should I start? Derrick Henry or Travis Etienne? Derrick Henry. I know a lot of people are anti-Derrick Henry this week. Yeah, the Browns defense is great. Yes, yes, yes. Derrick Henry in a game that they're supposed to win is almost always a smash start. I would be shocked if the Browns keep it remotely close. So expect them to lean on Derrick Henry in the second half, really to be a blowout in Baltimore's favor. So I think you got a great running back room. But I would go ETN over Woody Marks. So if it was me, I would go with 3 running backs here as being James Cook, Derrick Henry, and ETN, and then sit Woody Marks just for this week. I do think the Titans can be frisky this week. I'm not saying they can win, but for all these gambling people, I would kind of be on the side that they keep it within the points. I think it's at like 6.5 right now. Coming off a bye, also it's just Davis Mills. Water always finds its level. They were down 29-10 to the Jags, so let's not act like they're a great team. Anyways, on to the next. We got pick 2, 1, and I'll play wide receiver 1 flex. So you need a wide receiver. Quentin Johnston, Christian Watson, Troy Franklin, Vidal, Gadsden, or Ken Walker. Oh, this makes it tough because I would wow, the best options are very clearly all the Chargers. So I still would roll with the Chargers in this one. So give me Kamani Vidal and Quentin Johnston because there's a big enough gap between QJ and Christian Watson to the point where I would be fine going double Charger in this one. Does that lower your ceiling? Yes. But is it the best option? Yeah, pretty much. I would not be in any hurry to start Ken Walker or Troy Franklin, both tough matchups. The next one here, we got pick 2, Saquon, Vidal, ETN, or Singletary. Saquon's a lock, so obviously Saquon's going to be in the lineup. And then I would go with Travis Etienne. He's just kind of the more talented running back in that matchup against Kamani Vidal. I view them very similarly in the sense that they're both going to get a safe receiving line, a safe kind of rushing floor. So I would definitely go with Saquon and Travis Etienne. I would not be starting Devin Singletary really anywhere this week. Onto Palace World, we got a question. With BTJ out, who should I start? Parker Washington or Michael Wilson? I would go with Parker Washington. There is something to be said about chemistry with the quarterback, and him and Trevor Lawrence really seem to have it. I think he's got a good baseline this week. They're going to need to throw against the Chargers. Is it a good matchup? No. But playing from behind, likely, I really like him in this matchup. So give me Parker Washington. I'm not too bullish on Michael Wilson. I'd expect the Cardinals offense to struggle once again. They just really haven't looked good besides that one outlier. I wouldn't even call it an outlier. It's just called playing the Cowboys. which kind of inflates your stats and everything. So give me Parker Washington. Pick three, DK, Higgins, Rice, and Flowers. So we'll start from the top. The auto starts. This one's actually pretty easy for me. Rashid Rice is obviously in the lineup. Zay Flowers would be in my lineup, and so would T. Higgins. So until DK proves that he's a competent wide receiver and competent and of getting more than 6 targets a game, I would kind of leave him on the bench in this case. T. Higgins should be a safe play in this matchup. I think the over-under is set at 49.5, so they're expecting the shootout. So am I. Should be a good matchup. A lot of good fantasy options out there. So those are the three I would go with. We got Ferg or Theo. Theo's got Winston. Oh, I know. I know Jameis Winston is starting this week. I would still go with Jake Ferguson though. I mentioned my love for Theo Johnson in a game with Jameis earlier, but I would still kind of play the proven commodity in Jake Ferguson. Don't overreact to one bad week. This offense is still potent, and I think there's probably a good chance he gets into the end zone as well. QJ or Chase Brown and our Packers a bad streaming defense? I wouldn't say the Packers are a bad streaming defense. I just wouldn't do it, to be honest. There's a lot of other defenses I would play over them. I would definitely play the Ravens defense. They're probably less talented, but they have a better matchup over them. And what was the first part of the question? Oh yeah, QJ or Chase Brown. Chase Brown. This one's pretty easy for me. Chase Brown against the Steelers, a smash matchup. The Steelers have really struggled against the ground game. It's not the prototypical Steelers Tomlin defense that you usually come to expect. They're kind of just making silly mistakes. They're letting running backs run all over them, so I don't see any reason why this wouldn't continue. Give me Chase Brown. Let's see. Pick one at flex. Juwan Jennings, Chase Brown, or Woody Marks. This is Chase Brown. I just kind of mentioned my love for him this week. This game should be very, very fun. Woody Marks is still a good play for me, but I would not be super, super optimistic about him against the Titans. As well as Juwan Jennings, I think he'll take a back seat when Purdy's back and Ricky Pearsall is back. I think he was good for those past 2 weeks, but that's really where the fire is going to start to go out. So I wouldn't be starting him really anywhere. So give me Chase Brown in this one. He's got the safest floor. As far as the PPR wise, he is a menace in the receiving game. Joe Flacco loves targeting the running backs. So that's something that I would absolutely play. And going forward, Chase Brown is a great trade asset. I'm not sure if you guys saw my recent post of kind of the playoff strength of schedule, but the Bengals have just such a cakewalk as far as opposing defenses go in the playoff week. So I would definitely be targeting him. I think he'll get right. And then if Joe Burrow takes the wheel, it's even better. So your ceiling gets more and more optimistic as you go on with Chase Brown. So if you're in a position where you think you're going to lock up the bye or a surefire playoff team, I would definitely move some assets to try and get Chase Brown. Start Joe Flacco or Matthew Stafford. Give me Matt Stafford in this one. He's currently, I think, the MVP favorite or co-favorite with Drake May. They just love throwing in the red zone, and why wouldn't you? It works. They have Devontae Adams, who's pretty much a goal line wide receiver, if you will. Anytime he really targets him, he comes down with it. I know it's a tough matchup, but at home, I think you got to ride the hot hand of Matt Stafford in this one. On to the next here from Jacob. We got Shakir or Parker Washington, Brian Thomas out, Keon Coleman out. Oh, this one's tough for me. I would probably go Parker Washington in this one. I just like his floor a lot better than Khalil Shakir. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills throw the ball less than 20 times in this game. No Kincaid, obviously, no Keon Coleman. They're going to try and win on the ground, and this game will likely be both teams trying to win ugly. So I would expect kind of a low scoring affair. So give me Parker Washington. He's been solid in every week he's played. Jacoby Myers, obviously new to the offense, still getting integrated. He looked great last week, but I don't think he's just going to come over and take Parker Washington's job. They have great chemistry together, and I don't see any reason why that wouldn't continue. So give me Parker Washington in that one. We got Judkins. So Judkins or Chase Brown. This one I would actually go with Judkins. Just got to bet on talent in this one. I know the Ravens defense is widely improved, but I don't think they're fully fixed. So give me Judkins in that one. And on to a question from Hudson here. Darnold or JJ? I'm not playing JJ McCarthy in any league ever until he proves to me that he's a safe play. So give me Sam Darnold. I know last week they were pretty much up by 30 the second the game's tipped off. So you didn't really get a good performance, but he looked great. I mean, the first quarter he had like 100 yards. I know he finished with like 175. Bad for fantasy, but in this game they're going to have to keep scoring. The Rams are going to put up points. It's a must-win divisional game, so give me Sam Darnold in this one. I will say it. Doing this, I wanted to see the score of the Dolphins and the Commanders game. I know I've been answering questions for the past 30 minutes. Let's have a look. It says end of the fourth. Is this game going to overtime? We're getting Madrid free football. Chris Rodriguez is going to be a big pickup for me as far as waivers go. He commanded this backfield. He has 15 touches on the ground. I really like that from a bell cow usage rate. We got another question in here from Michael. Start one at flex. Hunt, DJ Moore, or Theo Johnson. My other good players are on bye. So I'm assuming you have Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Chris Olave, because only two teams on bye. But I digress. I would go with Kareem Hunt. He's the safest option. Bell cow usage against the Broncos. It's not a good matchup, but he's definitely a better play than DJ Moore, who laid a big goose in the last week, and Theo Johnson, who still is a tight end. So give me Kareem Hunt. He is going to get probably 15 opportunities. I do think this will be more of a split with Brashard Smith. So don't be surprised if Brashard Smith is more involved than we think. If he's a guy where if you can move a guy into the IR spot who's out and maybe throw a bench stash onto your bench, give me Brashard Smith just because you might learn a lot after this week about kind of where they're going in the direction. Obviously, they need to figure out something with no Pacheco. Trying to get more juice into the offense. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brashard Smith is more involved. They definitely need some action in this backfield that can take him to the next level. White from Hudson here. We got White, Goddard, or Vidal in the flex. Give me Kamani Vidal. As far as these options go, Rachaad White, it's another timeshare with Sean Tucker. It's gross. I don't like it. They're turning more and more away from Rachaad White, which I don't blame them. He hasn't looked great. Dallas Goedert is still a good play, but I would rather play the starting running back over the tight end any day. Obviously, you're going to be disappointed if Goddard scores, but give me Kamani Vidal. Safest floor, also probably highest ceiling. There is a good chance that the Chargers kind of stomp the Jaguars in this game. So I would be playing Kamani Vidal if I had him almost everywhere over a lot of options. I like him this week. Let's have a look. So we're in overtime. Drop in the comments if you guys have any guys in this Dolphins Commanders game. I don't know. Devon Achane has a pretty solid game. He's always going to have a solid game. From Matthew here, we got another question, non-PPR. It's been a while since I've seen a standard league question. A.J. Brown versus the Lions or Swift versus the Vikings. Give me DeAndre Swift. in non PPR, it always favors the running backs. I'm not saying this is a big difference, but I wouldn't be playing AJ Brown really anywhere, especially after he told everyone to not play him. So I'm gonna listen to the guy himself and give me DeAndre Swift in this matchup. I know the Vikings are good against the run, but they're not great. They're not as good as they were last year. So give me Swift. I think he's probably a good chance for 10 to 15 touches. In this game where I expect the Bears to keep it close, the Vikings really haven't impressed me that much. They're kind of stumbling as the games continue to go on. JJ McCarthy looking more and more interesting. I'll leave it at that. I know it's too early to tell, but I would be lying if I said if I was a Vikings fan, I'd probably want Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones rather than JJ McCarthy right now. So yeah, give me DeAndre Swift. As far as the games go, no, I was looking at the lines for a second just to see. I think we got 8 1 o'clock games, which is actually great. The two best games of the day, though, Chiefs, Broncos, and Seahawks, Rams at the 4 o'clock slate. Those would probably have a lot of action, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers keep it close today. I know they've been very kind of boom or bust. But against the Falcons, they just beat them by 30. I actually really like them in that game. Continue to drop the questions in the comments. I'll probably just stay on for a few more minutes. I know we're getting close to game time, but yeah. Mm. Ooh, all right. Let's see. Got a few questions coming in. I had Dart starting, but after the injury, I made the mistake of dropping Darnold for JJ. Yeah, it's it's a tough mistake. I wouldn't be picking up JJ McCarthy anywhere, but if you can add JJ McCarthy really or drop JJ really quick and pick up Darnold, I would definitely do that. Got a question here from Nate. What's up, bro? Would you start DJ Moore or Ferguson in your flex? I would start Jake Ferguson. It's not remotely close either. DJ Moore's been laboring with an injury for the past few weeks. He also just absolute zero last week. They're trying to integrate Luther Burden more and more into this offense, as well as Colston Loveland. I wouldn't make too much about Jake Ferguson struggling last week. The Cowboys' offense is super, super potent, so don't overreact to one bad week. Especially against the Broncos, I expect the Cowboys to get right against the Raiders' defense, which actually looked good against the Broncos, but I wouldn't make too much about that. Expect an offensive bonanza for the Cowboys, so I really like Jake Ferguson in this game. I really like him as a start going forward. So give me Jake Ferguson over DJ Moore. Um, yeah, anytime. Let's see. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. Then we're winding down. It's minus 20 minutes to game time. I'm excited for this week. A lot of good games. We got a question from Matthew. You like Otten even if the weather isn't great? I can pick up Fannin, Schultz, or Fryermuth. I would absolutely. I would go with Schultz over him. Schultz seems to be the better target as far as target share goes with Davis Mills. He loves targeting Dalton Schultz. The weather does scare me just a little bit. So give me Dalton Schultz. I would definitely play him over K Dotton in non PPR. Zay Flowers or Quentin Johnston? Give me Zay Flowers. I really like him this week. I think he is a good bet to kind of score a touchdown this week against the Browns defense. This one should be over quickly. The Ravens should stomp them. QJ is good, but he's super, super volatile. So there's a chance that you end up with less than 5 points. But with Zay Flowers, I know what you're getting. Probably going to get anywhere between like 10 and 45 points. Just he has a very safe floor. So give me Zay Flowers in this matchup. I think he's due for a big breakout week as well. Mm, Got one more here coming in right before I shut this off. We got Jamie here, Tyler Algier or Sean Tucker. Oh man, funny options. Let's think. Tyler Algier against the Panthers. I would roll the dice on Tyler Algier to be honest. I think he's the better bet for a touchdown. The Bills, this is a must-win spot for them. I expect them to be very good against the ground in this game. So give me Tyler Algier. I know Bijan owners are very mad when they get in the red zone and they end up putting in Tyler Algier. He's scoring, so it's obviously they're not going to go away from it just because people don't like it. But he's scoring almost every other week. So give me Tyler Algier. It's not the greatest options, but I think it's the best chance for a touchdown to really kind of save your week in that sense. You got any more last minute questions? Feel free to drop them in the comments. I did want to have a look on what's going on in the overtime game is final. So the Dolphins won in overtime. It's a good win for them. I know their next 5 games are actually very easy, so there is a chance that Mike McDaniel ends up saving his job after all, which would be quite hilarious. But I'll definitely be shocked if they end up in the playoff race. But that's a good win for them. Feel free to continue to drop in any last minute questions. I'll stay on for another few minutes as we wind down towards game time. Very exciting week. We got great matchups on the slate. Chiefs against the Broncos. That's probably determining the AFC West, if I had to be honest. And then another one, Seahawks Rams. Cooper Cup coming back home. Also, just a great kind of matchup, really see where these teams stand up against one another. Um, just saw a note here that the Giants, their best cornerback, Paulson Adebo, discomfort in his knee in pregame warmup, so he's going to be out. That actually does change some things. I think that's a slight uptick in the Packers' receiving options. Romeo Dobbs probably the primary beneficiary. We got another question here from DK. Would you start Cortland Sutton, Tet McMillan, JMO, or RJ Harvey? In this one, I would probably still go with Harvey's probably the best bet for safe volume, but as far as start two. This makes my life a little bit easier. So Tet, I would not be playing. I'm not too bullish on Tet. I would actually go with. Probably won't want to go with double Bronco in this case. Give me Harvey and JMO. I really like JMO this week. He's a stud, especially with Dan Campbell calling the plays. His usage rate has gone through the roof. I think that'll continue. I know the Eagles' defense is really good, but also no Laporta going on IR. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a slight uptick in kind of the floor for JMO, Amon Ra. And another name to just sneaky, Isaac Tesla. I'm not sure if the Laporta missing time will vault him into a playable asset, but just something to look out for Sunday night. I wouldn't be shocked if he's more and more involved with him missing time. Got a few last questions coming in from Garek here. We got Cowboys or Steelers for defense this week. Um, as wow, these are two bad defenses. If I'm being completely honest with you, I would actually roll out the Cowboys. I know they're probably the worst defense in football, but the Steelers aren't much better. And I am more bullish on the Bengals offense than I am the Raiders offense. So I would be playing the matchups as far as kind of the best option where you can assure yourself not getting negative points. I think the Cowboys will keep the Raiders under like 20 points. So I would go with that. The Steelers probably more talented, but this game over under at 50. They expect it to be a shootout. So do I. So I would definitely still roll with the Cowboys. Oh, appreciate it. Just came over from Insta. Welcome. I know this YouTube channel is new. I'm new to it as far as the comments go and setting everything up. So, for all those that are still here, I know we're 10 minutes away from kickoff. If you got time, I'd appreciate it if you guys just hit the subscribe. Doesn't mean you got to watch. I know I'm still getting better at editing on YouTube. It'll take some time. I'll get there. But yeah, if you guys have the time to just kind of click the subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Trying to grow this as well as Instagram. So this will probably be as we get into the NFL draft season. I'll probably make more dynasty videos. I'll have more time as far as learning editing software, so you'll see higher quality. So be on the lookout for that. Officially under 10 minutes away from kickoff, so I'll probably only stay on for another 1 or 2 minutes. If any last minute questions come in, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if not, I wish you guys best of luck in week 11. This is kind of win now mode for all those in the playoff push. So I hope I can answer you guys all your questions up until game time. I know it's now or never for a lot of you guys. Those sitting with like 3 or 4 wins, you got to win out. So it starts right now, and enjoy your week 11. Mm, mm, mm. Here we got another question coming in. Michael Wilson or Juwan Jennings for the flex? Give me Michael Wilson in this one. I think he's the better play, safer floor. Juwan Jennings with Ricky Pearsall coming back. I'm not the biggest fan, so give me Michael Wilson in this matchup. I think he's a safe play with Jacoby Brissett. Obviously, no Marv, so he is going to be the if de facto kind of wide receiver one for this team. So give me Michael Wilson. And feel free to hit the subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I know I am new to it as well. So yeah, if you have the time, I would really appreciate it. Got one more coming in right before I shut it off. Before Week 11 kickoff, we got start two: Jameson Williams, DK, or Keenan Allen. This one's pretty easy for me. It's going to be JMO and DK. I know DK has been disappointing, but I'm not starting Keenan Allen really anywhere. He is just kind of a veteran that's taken a back seat as this continues to steamroll ahead. They're moving forward with other options. So I would trust the emergence of Jameson Williams and DK in a get right spot in a good matchup. We're under 5 minutes till game time, so feel free to hit the subscribe if you guys are still here. I know I'm new to the channel, so are you guys. So I'll go ahead and shut it off if there's not any more questions. Uh, any last minute questions? I'll give it until 12:55. If not, I will be shutting it off. I will be shutting it off.